it with the focus of the negative attributes that tear you apart. And nitpicking is not just verbal.
All right.
Nitpicking is not just, ooh, I don't like you do this, or da 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 da. It's not verbal. Because you can nitpick in your mind. And remember we talked about personalities at the personality bar last month? So you have your extroverted personalities that might verbally nitpick. So you can hear it. So those are the dripping faucets. However, the introverted personalities, like if the perfect melancholy or the peaceful phlegmatic, you may not verbalize them. I'm not saying you won't, I'm just saying you may not, but you're doing it in your mind, and your gestures, or your body language, your tones, they are suggesting that you've been nitpicking in your head.
Going behind the other person because they didn't do it the way it should be done.
Ooh, it was just a flashback when you just did that. I remember it was earlier in our marriage. And
step back into it.
It was earlier in our marriage, and I had cleaned up the whole house. I mean, not just what you could see, I was under the cabinets, and I was just like cleaning. His mom was coming. I believe his mom was coming to town and everything, and I just cleaned up everything. I had one thing left, and that was to make the bed. I had one thing left, and so when he came in, I was just finishing up everything. That's all I had to do, but he came in before I finished what I was doing. And then he came in, and I could just hear the nitpicking, and it was like, making the bed, and he didn't say a word to me. He didn't say a word to me, but it hurt so bad because I was like, I thought he was gonna say like, "Wow, look at the house," or "Thank you, babe," or "Oh, everything looks good, smells good," and I didn't even hear hello. All I heard was the sheep skin.
It's been so long, I don't even
It was
remember.
a long time.
Even though if it was all the sound effects, wasn't I don't remember making up anything. I thought I said something.
So anyway, the nitpick doesn't have to be verbal. It could just be what you do.
Yes.
That indicates that you're doing it in your head.
Right.
To nitpick means to excessively criticize insignificant attributes that your spouse's personality characteristics, that are different from yours.
Yes.
And some of the examples that we've given like in class, for example, I do not like to work with music or the television or anything. And it's not that, I can't say it's not that I like to, but when I do, I'm extremely distracted and I can't get my work done.
Right.
If it's something on television, I'm like, it just takes me longer to focus and get my work done. Yeah. If it's praise music on, I'm worshiping. If it's some jamming music on, I'm jamming, and I just can't hear myself think. Well, my husband on the other end cannot do work unless there's the TV, some type of, I won't say noise, that's a melancholy word.
Yes.
But I don't mean it noise in a negative way, but with some kind of sound going on in the room.
No, I'm listening to Joyce Myers or some praise and worship music or some R&B.
You don't have to defend. I'm just making a point. I'm just making a point.
You don't understand.
So,
What
just making a point.
just making sure everybody knows that it's constructive noise. That's all.
I hear you, Rob. I hear you.
It's not even the point. The point is that we're different.
Different, yes.
And so, before we got to the place of appreciating and accepting and respecting that we're different,
Right.
it was like,
What's wrong with you?
how can you with your music on? You cannot be studying. And he's like, how can you guys come in my office, turn some music on in
Right.
here?
It's
And
like
you
I
can't
can
get
hear
nothing
myself
done.
thinking. It's like I don't want to hear my heartbeat and stuff. Do this, gosh.
So, but and so it became like an irritant because it's like, nitpicking him about if he has the TV or the music on while he's doing his work.
I'm not messing with you and think something wrong with you because you like silence and just focus on your work.
And so, but we began to respect each other. Now, because we had gotten to the point of respecting each other, when we had to actually work in the same place,
Yes.
had we not dealt with that, I guess I should say, we got to the point of accepting.
Yes.
And had we not got to the point of accepting it, we would not have been able to respect each other when we were in the same, actually, we were workspace. He was working from home one day, and so he's in my office, and he needed to hear music, but because he was in my space, he dealt with it, and it was torture for him. And then I realized, and then another day he was home actually working to help me in the office. And because he was helping me, I said, I know you want to hear some music. Yes, thank you. I was like, so but can we just not have it really, really loud? Because I'll have a hard time focusing. And so we learned, when we have to be in each other's space, you have to figure out how to blend that. That's back on last month's lesson. We talk about blending, appreciating, and respecting. And so I've actually